Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Once again, a massive thanks for all the well wishes that have been coming in. I'm definitely on the mend. I actually caught myself smiling in that day. I do feel a lot better on myself, so hopefully I've peaked out and I'm going to go up the hill, sort of back to the way I was. Right, tonight's nightcaps. I do a brake caliper repair for a lad, and I do a repair on a crankshaft for a lad, and there's something else I'm not quite sure what it was. There's some Viewer Mail came in, I want to show that, and I had a nice buy at a car boot sale. Basically they're all the same sort of thing, but they're going to be ideal for my giveaways. I had my friend Bob up last week and he did some videos on RC glow plugs, RC glow plug chargers and glow plug energizers. Now Bob does tend to get a little bit involved in his subject in that quite long videos, but there is a lot of useful information there, and Bob is very keen to pass his knowledge on. He's coming up next weekend and I believe he's got a badly seized DTI gauge, clock gauge, which has been underwater, and we're going to try and do a little bit of video on restoring that. I went to one of our local car boot sales last weekend and I found this box. Inside the box there's a lot of calipers. Some of them are manufacturer's ones, more than right. Some of them have been handmade. Whether they've been done in a school and they've been school project handed in, I don't know. Those ones there have been handmade. I think that's 25 sets in there, and I asked the lad how much they were, and he says between 10 and 15 pound. So I picked 2 or 3 sets up, and he says no, 15 pound for the box full. So I bought them all, and these will be given away in my monthly giveaways. I'm not going to clean them up, I'm going to leave them so whoever gets them can spend a bit of time with some fine wet and dry. That one is more than right. Clean them up and personalise them and use them. I've got these that I had when I was 17, 18. I've still got the same ones. I still use them all the time. They really are some nice bits of kit. Right, so that's the car boot sale items. I got an email last week of a lad called Mark Owen. He said he had something that would cheer us up, and he sent us this up. It's a box of assorted cotter pins or split pins. It's a nice little letter there. Now these are the old fashioned type of split pins, what I call pretty split pins. They're a nice shape. The modern ones are all sort of modern, but these are nice, absolutely beautiful. There's certainly a lifetime supply there. I'll never use all these, so somebody will be getting these after me. But Mark, thanks once again. They really are an excellent item, and I shall use them in future projects. In fact, I've got things with split pins in there on some of my model engines. I'll take the split pins out and I'll put those ones in, because pure and simply they look better. Made in England, that's a little bit of a strange thing to read on an item now. I've got a crankshaft here of a 4-stroke, some sort of grass cutter, quite a big grass cutter. It's a really nice crank, nice and machined. It's got there the cams that operate the valves on each end of it. This will make a nice crankshaft for a steam engine. Anyway, that's not what I've got it for. I've got to try and repair the threads in there. The threads are really badly gold and damaged. It appears to be 1/2 inch UNF, difficult to tell. I have got a 1/2 inch UNF machine tap, which sort of wants to start. That's the tapping drill for 1/2 inch UNF, which is 11.5. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with 11.5 and then go in with a 1/2 inch UNF tap. I have got access to a 1/2 inch UNF helicoil kit if I need it. I've got quite a few 1/2 inch UNF taps, decent ones. I'll grip in the chuck and the lathe and do it that way. I'll always have to protect this before I grip it in the chuck. Quite an interesting little job. I'm looking forward to doing it. It doesn't appear to be exceptionally hard. I mean, it's not soft, but it's not glass hard, so it should hopefully machine all right. I've got some copper protectors to go in They're called jaw protectors. They don't protect the jaws, they protect whatever you're going to grip in here. Nice soft copper, which I'm just going to bend around the right. I'm going to fold those corners over so they don't keep falling off. Right, so now hopefully they won't drop off and they'll protect the crank. That's excellent, goes all the way through there. I'll put a centre in the end of here just to line it up. A little bit of weight on there just to keep it nicely lined up. Any machine on here could now be done with that centre in, or you could put the fixed steady around there. But I think for what I'm going to do, which is basically just a drilling and tapping operation, that'll be fine. Of course, what we need to do is put the crankshaft in the right way around, because that's the end I want the machine. You doozy bastard, you. Now put a steady in there, line it up, nip it up, and then we're good to go. Excellent. Right then. We've got to fix it now. I'll put the collar chuck on to hold the tap. I have got a start tap there, taper tap, but I think this one should go straight in. It is a machine tap, and it's a very decent one, it's a very new one. Right, I've got the tap held in the collar chuck. Plenty lube in there. Lathe running nice and slow, and we'll just sort of see what happens. The tap's kind of slipping and gripping. It's putting the thread in there without a doubt. This is looking good. The swarf's coming out nicely. It was a really deep hole. I don't know how much thread I want in there, but I really think that'll be enough. The beauty with the collar chuck is I can reverse it out and it won't spin in the chuck, where an ordinary keyless chuck, they don't grip that well. Right, we'll clean that out, have a look and see what we've got. The lad has supplied a bolt that he wants to use, which is 1/2 inch U&F, and that's pretty good. It's not tight, but it certainly isn't piss wobbly. That will definitely do the job for him. Happy days. I've got part of a gearbox case in here of a KTM motorcycle, and what's happening is it's got a little leak around the drain plug. I'll bring the camera in, we'll have a look and see what we can see, what's been going on with it. I'm pretty sure it's got a crack down there.
Right, it's definitely got a crack down there, but even worse than that is it's had a helicoil insert fitted at some time and they haven't even cut it down to length, they've just left it wound in. A really horrible, rough job. I'll take the plug out and see what sort of mess it's in under there. Right, so it's definitely got a crack in there, it has got a helicoil in. Well, the lad's quite happy for me just to weld that up solid. It doesn't need a drain plug. He can simply loosen the case enough to drain the oil whenever he needs to. So we need to get the helicoil out, clean it up, clean that crack up and see if we can weld it. I'm not sure what sort of material it is. It feels very light. It could well be. It probably is a magnesium alloy. I don't think it's pure maggie, but you can never be sure, can you? We need the helicoil out, probably from the other side, could be the best method. So we've just left the helicoil full length, haven't even bothered to shorten it. Right, so all we're going to do is clean that up and just weld it up solid for him. I think it's been welded before, it looks possible. That's definitely a crack down there, we need to cut the crack open. We'll give it a wash with a little bit of acetone. It definitely looks like it's been welded before. Well, it doesn't look like it's been welded on the inside. We'll wash it up, put an arc on it and see what happens.
Since doing this video, I've done some research and it's very possible that the casing is made of magnesium. Side casings on KTMs are often magnesium. That will explain why it's welding with a bluey green flame. I've been on Artec and they're going to send me a few rods, so hopefully I can weld magnesium in the future.
Horrible. Absolute shite that. Terrible. A lot of zinc in it. It's burning like a horrible green flame. I'll run a weld on a bit of decent material just to show it's not the machine. See how clean and bright the puddle is.